cross-legged is fine. We'll just set ourselves up for nice opening breath. So that's what the practice today is, just allowing space for your breath to happen fully, so that that can calm the nervous system and bring calm to some of the anxieties that are going around lately. So we're going to make sure our sits bones are the anchor in this practice as we begin seated. And we'll take the palms to the thighs, either open for receiving or palms down for calming. And close the eyes if you'd like to cut out any distractions. And in your mind's eye, go into the body. Feel the thighs dropping down to the earth. And then we'll go to the pelvis and make sure there's a front tilt to the pelvis, so we allow a lovely curve in the lower spine. Travel up the spine, past the shoulder blades. They're going to roll down the back, shoulders away from the ears. You can bring the shoulders towards the ears and then down again. And then shoulders are on level with the ears are on level with the shoulders, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. So this allows fuller breath. For the moment, don't try to change your breath, just come into the natural flow. Inhaling clean oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide, excuse me. It's probably expecting my dog to bark. Inhale, oxygen, exhale, carbon dioxide. We begin the practice observing the breath as a silent witness. And then together across our continents, we can come into some conscious breath. For the conscious breath, you can take an inhale, as we did yesterday, with a count of 4, and then pausing for 2, and then exhaling for 6 counts. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Continue this path of breath. And adding on to today's breath practice, I'm encouraging self-care. So inhaling, you bring to mind a person who you care about, who's actually cared for you. Pausing with that nice feeling of being cared for, and then exhaling as you let that energy flow throughout the body of being cared for unconditionally. Inhale 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for a count of 6. Lengthening that exhale, allowing the body to settle in. A few more rounds here before we move into our movement. Gently flutter the eyes open, look towards the front of your mat, take the hands together in front of the heart and warm our hands, bringing that energy to maybe hands that are overworked at the keyboards these days. And then take the hands to the ears and just warm the entire system here with the elbows out to the side. And then let go. And as last week, we'll take our thumbs to the bottom of the skull and give a little self-massage at the bottom of the skull. So that would be the occiput area. You're doing circles to the outside, then circles to the inside. And then those thumbs slide forward towards the ears. And then you can pinch the outsides of the ears for some energy points, acupressure. And then pull the ears out. That might actually loosen the jaw. So Just notice if your jaw is getting a little nice of a stretch there. And then release that, bring the fingertips to the mat. And now you're gonna press into the mat and feel those fingertips like another balancing point. They're helping your sits bones as your another anchor here. The crown might lift even higher as you press the fingertips into the earth. And now we're gonna take your right turn with the chin and have that only go as far as you can go with that. No force. Inhale through center. Exhale, take a left turn with the chin. And then we'll take a right turn again and tuck the chin towards the right shoulder. And again, press through the left fingertips while you go to the right, and that will energize your trapezius. If you feel any strain, lift the chin. Inhale and exhale, and just come back to center, lift the chin, and we'll come back, taking a left turn. And then tucking the chin towards the left shoulder, press through the right fingertips. And then lift the chin, come to center, and we'll do a back of our neck stretch. So tuck the chin into the jugular notch. If you have a little strain in the trapezius, this might bring some relief. It should be very gentle. Looking down, and then looking up at the sky very lightly. Think about the heart looking up more than your eyes. That will help the thoracic spine lift up a bit. And then face forward. I'm going to bring the arms out to a T. And we're going to, so really stretch that, bring the shoulders up again to the ears, and then down towards the floor. And then reach out to each side through the fingertips. And we're going to floss the nerves that some of those get kind of pinched during our technology use. So press both hands out against an imaginary surface. And as you press out, you might feel a buzz along the arm. Any sensation is okay. No pain, just sensation should be expected here. And now bend the elbows as you bring the fingertips towards your ears. And then out again. Inhale, bring your fingertips towards you. And then out. In towards you. And then out. Great. And then back to a T, palms to the sky. Reach up towards the ceiling. Look up at the hands and then face forward. And we're going to clasp the hands together, clasp the fingers together and then the palms to the sky. So now you'll feel the side bodies growing longer. And then you can lean over in this position to your right, feeling that grounding through the left sits bone. Inhale, ground through the right sits bone and lean over to the left. And then come back, release the fingers, and then bring those fingertips to your shoulders, and then make circles with the elbows. We get a glide through the shoulder girdle here. See if I have another person. Maybe not. I just had something flash on my screen. And then we're going to take the circles forward. Great. And then bring the elbows down to your ribs. And we'll get into the wrists because why not? We'll do our faucet, turning the faucet here, like I have in the video. And then our royal waves. And then hooray arms way up to the sky. Through the fingers, feeling that release. And then bringing the hands down to goalpost, we'll take a twist here. If you at any point need to switch your legs, go for that. I'll be doing that in a few moments. But we'll take the goalpost hands, and then we're going to keep those up in the air. And as we did yesterday, we'll twist, but using only the mid-back and the upper back to start with. We're not going to bring the neck into it. We're going to look forward as we twist. And look forward Then you can gaze over that right hand behind you. Bring the hands down. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, and then twist. So to get into this twist, you're using your abdominals before you get your arms, your fingers down to the earth, helping you. And then release. Come back to the goalpost. Spread through the fingers so you feel that extension. And then we're going to face forward as we come to the left turn, mid upper spine, and then the head turns towards that back hand, and then the hands come down to earth. You might inhale, grow a little taller, and then exhale, twist with the help of your hands at this point. Wonderful, come back. And then you can switch legs. And then I want to do the, come back to goalpost. And I'm going to bring the palms together. So we're going to press the forearms together and the palms. Pressing that together, and then open those hands like a book. And then you're going to lift your elbows while you press the arms together up towards the sky as much as you can, and then separate those arms like a curtain, and then bring that down to goalpost, close it again, pressing, and then opening the book and coming on up as much as you like, and then opening one more time, close the hands together, and then open the book, and the elbows reach skyward. Okay, beautiful. Now shake that out, and we'll come to our all fours. And I recommend that you take a blanket under your knees. We're going to do a little bit of a core activation so that you have core awareness as you walk through the day or stand in line, or stand at the sink, whatever you need to do, but we're going to activate that core today. So let's take the knees to the blanket or soft surface, and we'll take the wrists below the shoulders and the hips above the knees. Okay, and then what you want to do is reach the head, the crown of the head forward, and check back in. You want to close the eyes, bring your mind's eye into your spine, and you'll feel a curve in the lower back. The whole time you're in this neutral spine, you want to make sure your pelvis is even. So maybe you could balance your favorite tea or coffee on your sacrum and not spill it. You also want an awareness that the arms are pressing, actually the hands would be pressing towards the knees, and you're squeezing an imaginary newspaper under your armpit. So we're beginning in a really good form here, and the belly button reaches towards the spine. So we're still activating those ab muscles. Inhale, and we'll tuck the tailbone, and then we'll take the cat position. So our spine is going to reach toward the sky. And when you go do this from the tailbone all the way through that lower spine, vertebra by vertebra, come up, arch up, and then the head will drop to towards the earth. So we're in the Halloween cat. And then exhale, tailbone reaches towards the sky, roll gently along that spine, and then raise the head up. Cow. Now your breath is your guide here. So you're going to inhale as you tuck, as the tailbone tucks towards the earth again into Halloween cat. And exhale as you go into cow in that arch. And your breath will determine the rhythm of this movement. So it's up to you. But it's a really great full spine activation. And then we'll go side to side. So we'll bring the right ear a little bit towards our right hip. So you feel that side stretch on the left. And then inhale through center. And the left ear comes towards the left hip, and maybe nudge that hip towards the ear a little bit. Back and forth. And this is, you can even look back as if you're looking back at your tail. Great. And then come back to center. Inhale and exhale. So get a sense of that neutral spine again. Especially activate the steady pelvis. Balance that drink as you reach the right foot behind you and curl the toes under. And just rock gently back and forth for a calf stretch. Inhale. Let's lift that right leg up. I think you can see that here. It's my back leg in this instance. So lift the back leg up, straighten, flex through the foot. Again, check in. Can that drink balance on your sacrum? And if it can, then if you want to test that core strength, lift the left arm up. It's the right leg and the left arm. Take a deep breath and then exhale. And then bring the left hand back to the earth and the right knee. Let's take a calf stretch on the left leg. So let's reach that left leg back. Rock back and forth. Calf stretch. Come back to neutral. Lift that leg up. Check in. I can look at the camera and see how even I am here as well. If you want to test your core strength, you can lift that right arm up and reach each side along the left foot and the right fingertips, and then come back to earth and then go to that other side again. So let's lift the right leg, left arm. You can even destabilize yourself. So we're going to do that a few times today. We're going to kind of destabilize the balance and then bring it back to the center. Come down with the hand on the knee, and we'll try the other side. Lift the left leg and the right arm. And then reach out like you're trying to shake someone's hand. And then come back to center so you have a sense of that inner core. And then come down. Now we'll just take our hips to the right slightly, and then down towards the heels, and then to the left. And then we'll take the opposite. So we'll take the hips, keep them in that left position. So we're basically doing a U shape with the hips swivel here. So we can get into our hip flexors. So I'm first taking my hips to the left, and then I'm going back towards my heels and up to the right and back and forth. And if this bothers your knees, just go smaller circles. Great. And any direction you want to go now. If it's just side to side or just kind of squeezing out that spine. So we're going to come to stand, and I'll show you some balancing poses, and we'll get into the details of that so you can do them in great form. First, we're going to come up to standing in a way that's really safe for the lower back. So I'm going to take my heels, start my hips to my heels, and then I'm going to push up through the hands, and I'm going to take my rib cage to the thighs. So take the rib cage to the thighs, pressing down through the hands, and then walk your feet towards your hands, keeping the knees bent. Feet are hip width apart. So your back is really safe here because it's just your knees are bent, supporting your low back, and then your hands as well. So we're going to come up to a flat back. Inhale. Take the hands to the hips. We're going to keep that flat back as we hinge up to standing position and then straighten the legs. And then we'll adjust the camera so you can see. Stand back a little bit here. All right, so from here, we'll take that strong mountain pose. Let me pull my mic towards me a little bit. And then we'll take a strong mountain pose. So we're keep feet hip width apart, go along our checklist. So the feet are hip width apart, the toes are spread wide, and you're feeling as if there was a light in between your feet. So the feet are rounding down, but in between your ankles, there's a bright light and it's shining through the middle of your body. So that energy is lifting up while you're standing in mountain pose. With your palms, press the thighs back slightly, which will tilt the pelvis, and that will allow that curve in your lower spine. Now hang the hands to your side, open up the palms, and then the palms will turn inward towards the body, keeping the shoulders open. Lower ribs come in, but the heart shines forward. Crown of the head reaching towards the sky, mountain pose. So always know that this is a really solid stance you can take during any time of the day. And try not to lock the knees either, so let's keep a micro bend there. Now we're going to stretch along the TFL, the tensor fascia lata, on the right side. So in this from the mountain stance, take your right foot behind the left, so cross-legged like that, and then reach the arms up above the head. You can kind of see here, sorry, maybe I can lower down, adjust the camera, thank you. So you'll see my hands, with my left hand, I'm grabbing my right wrist. And then I'm leaning over to my left, just as if there was a wall in front of my body and back of my body. So you're just leaning over on that plane, and you should get the whole right side there, including that long muscle along the side of your leg, tensor fascia lata. Don't overdo it here. Just go as far as you want and then come back to mountain pose, nice strong mountain pose. Take the left foot behind the right. And I know that might be hard to see, sorry about the angle issues here. I'm gonna come up and my right hand will grab my left wrist and then we'll lean over to the right. Again, imagine those two walls, one in front of you and one behind you, supporting you on that plane. There you go, and just soften through this, nothing forced. Inhale back to center and then unwind the feet. And then we're going to come to a very strong way to come into tree pose. So I want you to just come back to that mountain, maybe bring your hands to your hips, and then take your right foot forward. So sometimes when people come to one side or another and then come back to standing mountain, take your left foot forward. So a lot of times when people take a step forward, they'll sort of drop the energy into one hip or the other. And if I come back to my left, we swing the hips. And in belly dance or something like that, completely desired. But as you walk, if you increasingly walk with that swing, you can really destabilize the sacroiliac joint. So let's take the right foot forward and just notice as you bring the left foot forward as well, you get the sense of that light shining up through the center of the body, supporting you, and as if you were zipping up into a wetsuit. You really keep that core awareness. Step back on the left foot and then bring the right foot back. Inhale, exhale, step forward with the left foot. And then as you come forward with the right, you're again getting that sense of core support as you step the right foot forward, okay? Now you're gonna come back to mountain pose. Now step forward with the right again. And then your left leg will come up. Your knee rises up and you're just in a balance here. Now notice the tendency, maybe you'll wanna drop into one hip, but just keep those hips even as you keep that knee up in front of you at kind of a 90-degree angle to the body. And then step back and step the left leg forward and then come forward with that right knee and keeping the pelvis straight. And then come back again. And then step forward with the right. And we're going to actually, I'll do it to the side so you can see this. We're going to paw, this is called horse paw, but horses don't have paws, but it's called horse hoof. Okay, bring the right and the left knee up as you step forward. And then you're just going to drag the foot along the floor and then bring the knee up again. So we're sliding the foot along the floor and all the while keeping that awareness as if you were supported by a wetsuit. Have that energy through the middle, supporting you. Great. Come back to standing. And now I'll step forward with the left. So I'll come to the side and swing that right knee upward, gently, of course. And then reach down to the earth, slide the foot along the earth, and then bring the knee up. So we're gently testing that standing core awareness. And I may be looking funny with this because a little bit of a microphone fire issue here. But yes, that'll bring you into that balance. All right, so we'll come into tree pose, which again is another pose where people can destabilize a bit. It's a balancing pose. So we'll bring the right foot forward in that same stability that you had before. You will take the left knee forward and then turn it out slightly to the left. Now you feel free to kickstand your foot so you curl the toes under on the floor and your left heel will just slightly lean against your right ankle. Activate both of those legs and the hands come to prayer position. So this can be your tree pose. Press the hands together. You'll notice that will bring the shoulders into engagement. And if you'd like to just take your balance here, that's fine. You can actually close one eye, close another eye, close both eyes, something that will test your balance, or you can slide the foot up the leg on the side of the shin. Now notice if the hips want to shift side to side, keep that nice core strength going. And some people like to bring them all the way up the leg, but the important part is to keep that powerhouse area stable. You can even bring your hands up to the side like goalpost. You can sway yourself side to side. So test your balance here, just for fun. And then bring the hands to the hips. Reach back with the left foot. And then come to mountain pose, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll step forward with did we do the left? Yeah, step forward with the left. The right knee comes forward, and then we turn it out slightly to the right. Kickstand the right toes. I'll come back so you can see. Kickstand the right toes. And keep the pelvis, keep your hands on the hips just to get that sense of your pelvis supporting you, your glutes, and then bring the hands up. And if you want to slide the foot up on the side of the shin. And here, when you have the foot lifted, press the foot and the leg together so you have a sense of the midline. Let's come to prayer position. Inhale. Exhale, tailbone reaches towards the earth. And you can test it out here now. Lift the arms up, sway side to side. And if you fall out of it, that's perfect, because it's practice, not perfect. Great, and then come down through prayer, hands to the hips, and then shake it out. Perfect. I think now, just looking at our choices here, my menu. Lift. Okay, we're going to do one more balancing pose before we go down. Come forward again with your right foot. And then we'll take a knee lift here to the 90 degrees. Take your hands, if you can balance, take them to the back of the thigh. And just hold that balance there. And then if you want to let go of the right hand and open that out to the left for a hip opener. Bring the knee back to center. And then come down, step back to mountain. Inhale, come forward with the left. Lift the right knee. Hold the back of the thigh. And then just sense that balance there. You can even press into the hands with your thigh. And then let go of the left side, open up the leg to the right. And open the hip and then come back. And then step back to mountain pose. I hope that you use this balance throughout your day to just tap into some stronger ease in through breathing as well, that will allow the breath to open up in standing position. Okay, let's come back down to the mat. So we're going to come to through similarly to what we did before. If you'd like to bend your knees as we come down, we're going to hinge at the hips. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips. And if you'd like to keep the knees bent as you come down, or if you want to test your hamstrings, you could keep the knees straight. We're going to come down to the earth and then bend the knees. Bring the sits bones towards the mat. And then have a seat. And we will take our hands to the back of the thighs. The feet are hip width apart. As we work toward a bridge, we're going to keep our knees hip width apart and then hold on to the back of the thighs. Curl the spine, so like in a Halloween cat, but go backwards towards the mat. So, and then the elbows come out, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and curl the spine down, just like we did in cat-cat. Let go, and then come down consciously to the earth. Maybe you want to cushion your head. So since we're here and we did bird dog, we'll do kind of a bird dog upside down. We'll do something called dancing bug. We're going to take the hands above the hands reaching towards the sky. And then we're going to bring the knees to tabletop. So again, notice your neutral spine. So your sacrum is on the earth, your shoulders are rolling towards the earth, but you do feel a nice curve in that lower spine. So already we're activating the core here. And then we can bring some movement into this as we take the left knee, the left heel and knee towards the earth, okay? Tap it down and then bring it back up to tabletop. Tap the right heel down. And you don't have to bend the knee anymore to do this, just keep it in that 90-degree angle. Tap down with the left, bring it up. Tap down with the right, bring it up, breathing through this. And now we'll match that with the hands. So we're going to take the arm, the left arm with the left leg. As it taps down, follow it and bring it back up as if there was a string attached between the hand and the knee. So right side, and then back up, left side, and then back up. So just repeat this, breathing a little while. And this is a nice core activation. Beautiful. Some people call this dead bug, but you know, I don't. I like to keep things lively. I call it struggling bug. Okay, drop the arms and the feet, soles of the feet to the floor. Bring them hip width apart, bring the knees hip width apart, and touch the back of the heels with your fingertips. Roll the shoulders towards the earth. And then you're going to keep the full length of the arms that will support you in this bridge pose. So the full length of my arms are going to press into the earth, and I'm going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. and then pressing through my feet. Also, if this is available to you, you can clasp your fingers underneath you. So kind of like what you're doing, reaching towards the sky, but the shoulders melt towards the earth. And you, again, press the full length of your arms to support that lift. Your chest is also reaching towards the chin here. A good pose for every sequence, every practice. Doing a bridge is very good for the thoracic spine, the entire spine. Release the hands and then roll the spine down, each vertebra at a time. Sacrum is the last to come down. Just imprint that on the mat. Beautiful. Okay. Now we'll do half happy baby. So we'll take the right knee towards the face. And then we'll slide it over just slightly towards the underneath the right armpit. And if this is available to you, you can take your right foot towards the ceiling. You can grab the ankle or the back of the thigh. So we're just opening up that right hip. And today, yesterday we kept this knee bent, but if you'd like to straighten out your right leg, that will challenge you if you did this yesterday a little more, or you can leave it bent. And if you do lengthen out along that leg, press down through that thigh with your left hand and activate the foot as if you were standing on a surface. Inhale and exhale. The hips are prone to resisting this opening just by the nature of being used so much. So feed it with that oxygen coming back to that even breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. As you come out of this pose, release the ankle or the thigh and hold, come with your clasped hands behind the thigh, and then straighten the leg to a hamstring stretch. And just hold the back of the thigh, bend the knee and straighten the knee. And making some room in that fascial plane behind the hamstrings. That will help your lower back if you have any issues there. So just bend and straighten, throwing in this little bonus stretch on our way out here. And then come down, bring that sole of the foot to the floor. Inhale, and bring the left knee towards your face. And we'll do the left side half happy baby. And then we'll take, if we can, if you want to just stay like this, that's fine, or you can stand that sole of the foot on the ceiling, grab the left ankle or the back of the left thigh. And one side might be stiffer than the other, which is very common. So just allow that acceptance of wherever your stretch is. Again, if folks took yesterday and want to straighten out the right leg for an extra challenge there, you can do that and stand that right leg down. Inhale, exhale, feel that hip open. Bend the right knee, release the left leg. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale both knees towards your face. And then we'll take circles with the knees, take the hands to the knees and circle to the left. And circle to the right. And then we'll come into full happy baby. So both knees towards your armpits. And as you come up, try to keep the sacrum grounded on the earth so you're not curling up into any kind of sit up here. It's more about lengthening the spine, reaching the tailbone down, and then both feet down on the ceiling. You can grab back of the thighs or the ankles, and then feet stay flexed, protecting the knees. In this one, you can even have your knees come up and down, sort of nudging this along, nudging this opening, the hip sockets, and sway side to side. And then bring the soles of the feet together, hang on to the ankles as those knees open up. And then gently bring it back to happy baby. And then come down to that cobblers again, bring the soles of the feet together, hang on to the ankles. Come back up to happy baby. So this is yet another pathway to open up the hips. It's just to alternate between these two, breathing all the while. And we're taking it super easy so that the hips get the message that they can let go. Or twist to our, actually I'm going to switch to the other side so you can see me on your right side. We're going to come over to a twist. And this twist is fantastic for that mid-spine, thoracic spine. And you can cushion the head with a little pillow if you'd like. Take the, as I said before, the right angles, the 90-degree angles are really important in twists. A lot of people throw twists around pretty loosely, but I really like to line them up so that you're really benefiting your lower back and your whole back. So take the shins 90 degrees to the thighs, thighs 90 degrees to the torso. Check in with your sacrum, take your left hand to the sacrum. Make sure that it's a perpendicular 90 degrees to the floor. So it's not swaying forward or back, but 90 degrees. Bring the palms together and we're going to pull a bow and arrow back. Okay, so it's if we were pulling back with a bow and arrow, pull the left elbow back. So sliding your fingertips along the right arm, pull back. And so you'll notice that your mid-spine starts, your rib cage starts to open to the left. And then you can open the hand and bring the neck into it and gaze over those fingertips. But the minute you touch down, come on back to sliding your left hand towards your right and then reach beyond those right fingertips of the left hand, protracting the shoulder and then retract. Pull back into that bow and arrow. And then open up. And then close that and come back a few more times. I would repeat this each time. The spine will open a bit more. And if you're opening into that unfolded position with your left arm open, you can take your right elbow to the earth and push down. And in my case, it will lift that right side of the rib cage and you'll feel a deeper twist. And one more time, pull that back. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side and I'm going to flip this way so you can see me. Make my pillow over here. All right, check in your angles here. Torsos 90 degrees to the thighs, thighs 90 degrees to the shins, palms together. And your sacrum, take your hand to your sacrum back there, make sure that it's perpendicular to the floor, or 90-degree angles to throw at you. Okay, bring the palms together. And then gently glide along the left arm with the right fingertips and then pull that bow back. And then unfold to your right. And maybe look over those right fingertips. And then slide back And repeat this nice, slow, juicy spine twist. On about your third round, you might want to, as you open up the right hand, press through the left elbow, lift the left side of the rib cage a little bit, and then slide back. Bringing that to a close. Come onto your backs. Then cushion the head. I'm going to do my it will always be my favorite. I know I did it yesterday. Sorry if you're getting a repeat, but I know it's good for you. Take your knees together. Take your feet apart, a little bit wider than hip width. As legs. So. Okay, and then with your right knee, trace your left shin and trace it down towards your foot. Keep contact with the shin along the knee so that you protect your lower back. And then with your left knee, trace the right shin down. And just repeat that windshield wipers on mist. Nice and slow. And then you're going to take your thumbs to your elbow creases. And the arms and elbows will go to the opposite direction of the legs. Crazy legs. And if you're hearing any ruffling with this microphone, I apologize for some of these movements. The head will go side to side, looking to the left and then looking to the right. And then you'll bring your eyes into it and watch your arms go back and forth. This pose is great for activating the vagus nerve, which controls a lot of the autonomic systems in our body. Bringing them into that rest and digest place. And bring that to a close. Great. Release the arms. Lengthen out on your mat. Inhale and exhale. Do a scan here. And notice if your body has any areas of tension that you want to give extra attention to after this practice. If you're noticing, let's just do a nice inhale now together. And an exhale, bringing relief to that tension. Inhale and exhale. In fact, if this, we have just a moment for yogi's choice. If there's 30 seconds that you want to spend on some area that we've ignored or that you really wanted to attend to, you can do that now before we get into our rest phase. Maybe bring the knees to the chest again. Do wider circles with the knees, away from each other, or anything you'd like to do. Another bridge. Great, and now lengthen out. Get cozy if you need to get warm. I know this room, we've had a warm day here, the first in a very long time. I'm really relieved. If you need to get warm, grab a blanket, lay out on your mat. So Shavasana, you want to make sure that your lower back is comfortable. So if you need to put something under your knees, you can do that. Keeping the knees bent, no problem. Open the palms to the sky and then feel the shoulders shimmy underneath you. And the neck has a nice comfortable curve. And I encourage you on the inhale to tighten every muscle in your body, and then on the exhale, we'll release. Inhale, tighten everything. Exhale, release, and then melt, allowing gravity to bring you back. to your awareness of the body and to that breath we began with. Inhaling for 4, holding for 2, exhaling for 6. Doesn't have to be that exact, it's just a general ratio for the breath, lengthening the exhale. Close the eyes. Come back to that inner awareness. Notice any changes in sensation in the body since you began the practice. If there are thoughts, of course there will be, allow them to come and go. Since it's a holiday here in most of Europe, I'll encourage you to take a little mini vacation on your Shavasana, focusing on a favorite location, even if you are in that location now. Bring to your awareness all the dimensions of that wonderful place. The sights and sounds and smells and sensations of that place. This is the time for the body to drop down, invite all the stretching and changes that you've done to it. Bringing you to a state of total relaxation. Continue the path of breath. Allowing a sense of caring to radiate throughout the body. Spend a few more minutes in Shavasana as a gift to yourself. Inhale into the belly and the chest, all the way up to the collarbones. And then exhale, and if you'd like to stay in Shavasana, feel free to do so. Or just wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing your awareness back into your current surroundings. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Pause there. Be grateful for yourself for bringing you to a place to nourish the body and the mind today. Use your hands to help you up to a seated position. And we'll take the bird hands, so link the thumbs together with the fingertips spread out. Bring that to your heart space. Feel the breath in your hands. Inhale. Exhale. I have not done the Om out loud because of the microphone issues, but if you can think of the word Om as you inhale one more time and exhale. Bring the hands to the heart in prayer position. May our practice today benefit both ourselves and many others. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. We can turn the sound on. My hair keeps falling out during Shavasana. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And I will, I just wanted to say that check out the YouTube. I'm sending out kind of my new stuff each week. It's just a little break for you. And then I'm thinking I'll continue the 9 a.m. on Thursday, but if you have any suggestions for that, send me anything, any ideas you have or poses that are on your wish list. Oh, and if you do visit the YouTube, you can actually subscribe. So if you guys, I can send out the link again, and then you can, that would be great to have subscribers. So any questions, anybody, or are we good? Good. Okay, I hope this makes your day better and you feel better. And if you have any reasons that afterwards that you want to give me feedback, email me, no problem. I'm so glad I had so many different time zones. It's exciting. Cool. I'll see you guys soon. And Maria, I wish I could come to France and see you, but whatever. We'll get there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See, thank you. Our work meeting. Oh, somebody had to leave early.